Fair use disclaimer. The copyright laws of the United States recognizes a fair use of copyright content. Section 107 of the United States Copyright Act states, notwithstanding the provisions of sections 106 and 106A, the fair use of a copyrighted work, including such use by reproduction in copies or phone records or by any other means specified by that section for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarships, or research, is not an infringement of copyright. This video and YouTube channel in general may contain copyrighted works that were not specifically authorized to be used by the copyright holders, but which we believe in good faith are protected by federal law and the fair use doctrine for one or more of the reasons noted above. Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. And if you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. This call to action is out of Houston, Texas, where the authorities are asking for help in finding 21-year-old DeAndre Ford, mother of a 4-year-old son. She's been missing since September 21st after leaving her workplace at the Divas Bikini Sports and Bar and Grill with an unidentified man in a white van. Police say she had only been working at the sports bar as a dancer for just a week. DeAndre's family got really concerned after realizing she had not reached out to her 4-year-old son. They said she was staying with a friend, but never goes without calling and checking in with him. After a friend of DeAndre's received a phone call from her at around 2 a.m., but she was asleep, and when she returned the call, there was no answer. The club surveillance showed DeAndre sitting with the man in a white van talking for more than an hour before pulling off in a direction where the club doesn't have cameras. Her family were able to obtain the man's address. They went to the apartment, but there was no answer, which prompted them to get a hold of the authorities. Take a listen.
Family is desperate for answers after a mother disappeared after work 5 days ago.
And her family fears something may have happened to her. They say it is just not like her to leave her 4-year-old son. They're talking to our Matt Doherty tonight. Matt?
Yeah, I spoke with the manager of the club a little more than an hour ago. He tells me that they warned the women not to go home with any of the men they meet at the bar. The family members say 21-year-old DeAndre Ford had only worked as a dancer here at Divas Bikini Sports Bar and Grill for a few weeks. It's the last place anyone saw her.
If anyone has her, that they release her and let her come home. We just want her home.
Tonight, her family is pleading for help. They say they knew something was wrong when DeAndre went days without contacting her 4-year-old son.
I'm confident that something's not right. This is not her normal behavior.
Family members say the club showed them surveillance video from that night. Tonight, the club's manager says the video has been turned over to police. Family says it showed DeAndrea leaving with a man, getting into his van in the parking lot after the club closed. They stay there for more than an hour.
Well, she entered the vehicle with him. Whether she left, with him willingly or unwillingly, that's something that we can't answer.
After that, her family says one of her friends got a missed call from DeAndrea at about 2 o'clock Friday morning. By later that day, family members say DeAndrea's phone had been turned off and their calls went straight to voicemail. They say it's been off ever since.
Her phone has not been powered back on. There's been no reception or no direct contact with her.
Houston police say this is an active investigation. If you have any information, you're asked to give them a call.
The family of a Houston woman is desperately searching for her after she went missing about a week ago.
Yeah, police say she was last seen getting into a van with a customer at the bar where she works, and those last known moments were caught on surveillance camera. Fox 26's Sherman DeSalle is live in East Houston. And Sherman, I know you spoke with the family.
Yeah, I did. Good evening, Dominique, Anthony. So the last time that someone saw 21-year-old DeAndrea Ford was right outside of the Divas Bikini Sports Bar and Grill. And they've been calling and texting her, but no response yet. And the family says they will keep doing that until she either answers or they find out where she is.
You can't sleep because you don't have any information. They're not giving you no hope, you know. And all I just want her to do is come home.
Bridget Carrier says the family's doing everything they can to find her granddaughter, 21-year-old DeAndrea Ford. She was last seen on camera in front of the Divas Bikini Sports Bar off of the East Freeway near Federal Road. Her uncle, Kevin Carrier, says she had been working there as a dancer for only a few weeks. Carrier saw the bar surveillance video himself and says it shows on September 21st around 1 a.m. DeAndrea gets in the passenger seat of a white van outside the bar with a customer. They sit there for a little over an hour. She could be seen in the front seat.
After that, they drive off in a direction in which the club doesn't have cameras, and that's it.
A friend received a call from DeAndrea around 2 a.m., but they were asleep and missed it. Calls to her remain unanswered. Her uncle says before she got in the van with the customer, that same man was seen talking to another staff member inside the bar for about 20 minutes, and they seemed to know each other. The family says that interaction brings about questions.
Why is the information on the girl so scarce to come about from the club? Why is someone that this guy is interacting with, along with one of your waitresses, someone that you don't know?
Police have released very limited information on this search. The family tells us they try not to think of the worst case scenarios for DeAndrea and hoping that whomever she left with that night hears their plea.
Let her come home to her family and her son. Just don't continue trying to hold her, or if you making her do anything, you know, out the way or whatever, just let her go.
It's a pretty tragic situation. She is the mother of a 4-year-old son. Now, when we got here earlier, we saw two detectives walking out. One had a small duffel bag. We're not sure of what was in it or what it was, but they have very limited information. No suspects have been identified. If you know where DeAndrea is or have any information that can help to solve this case, call Houston Police.
DeAndrea's family later found out that she was a witness in a big capital Big M case that happened back in May, and believed that there could be foul play because of that.
Tonight, new details on the missing Houston woman who was last seen getting into a van outside of the bikini bar where she worked as a dancer. Court documents now show that DeAndrea Ford, she was a key witness in a capital case.
That's a lot of information. As tonight, police have no new details on DeAndrea's whereabouts. But our newsroom has managed to find out that the 21-year-old was a witness in May that left one man. 4 people were arrested in this case, including a former Harris County detention officer. Court documents state that on May 10th, DeAndrea Ford and 21-year-old Kitiana Taylor traveled to Baton Rouge, Louisiana to work as dancers and prostitutes for clients brought to them by 35-year-old Otis Parker. Parker was driving Taylor and Ford home from Louisiana with the cash the women made there, according to documents. Police say text messages from Taylor indicate she was planning a setup to rob Parker of at least $1,500 in cash when they arrived at an apartment complex on Selinsky Road early that morning. Parker was 22-year-old Jamal Brown, also known as Bam, was listed as the shooter, and 22-year-old Jarrell Wheeler was listed as an accomplice, along with Kitiana Taylor and 20-year-old Mariah Green. Jamal Brown was a month later in a shootout with police. He had been on the run from the capital murder charge. The 3 other suspects, including Jarrell Wheeler, a former Harris County detention officer, remains in jail. Now, whether or not this in May is related to DeAndrea Ford's disappearance, that's yet to be confirmed. I reached out to Ford's grandmother, who I spoke to yesterday, to get a comment, but I haven't heard back as of right now.
And still to date, the Houston police still haven't told talk to the family or the reporters to say if DeAndre's disappearance had anything to do with the case. But let's just pray for the family and hope they find her safe. With that said, please share this video and let's do our part and help the family find DeAndre. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. And smash that notification bell so you'll see when I drop my next video. Stay blessed. Peace.